Hey guys, my name's Adam, welcome to Scooter Street. In today's video, we're going to show you how to change the lock set for a Piaggio Typhoon. And that can extend to any of the Piaggio Aprilia type scooters because most of the lock systems are exactly the same. So we're going to replace the barrels for the ignition and also replace the barrels for the seat. So come along and we'll show you exactly how to do it. So in order to get to the lock set, which is up in here, we need to remove this front cover. And it's really just a matter of removing all the screws associated with holding the front panel. So we'll get into that now. So once we've got all the screws removed, we need to actually lift the panel. And you'll see the panel starts to come away from the body of the scooter. Next step, we need to remove these two screws. There's one on either side. And you remove those two screws to let the inner leg shield come away from the body of the scooter. Okay, now we can access the complete lock set. This is the cylinder set that we're going with today, guys. This is including two barrels, one for the seat and one for the ignition, and it also comes with a set of keys. So this is the tricky part of the operation. Just where we've got that tool in, that pin there needs to be removed in an attempt to release the ignition. So once you've got the pin out of the way, the lock comes out. And this is what we're after. So we're at the stage now where we need to remove the old barrel from the ignition housing, and we just use a 90mm socket and we just set it up into the vise. It doesn't need a lot of pressure, but if you hold it around the barrel at the front and slowly squeeze, you'll see it release. There's an O-ring that keeps it in place, and that's what we need to release. Once we do so, we can get the new barrel straight into the housing. Just lubricate it before the assembly goes together. And then it should go, there we go. So once it clicks into place, then we can get ourselves ready. So new barrel in, old barrel out. Now we're at the point where we need to get that little clip there down in place. And once it's flush with the housing, we can then insert the new lock barrel and the housing. Okay, so we've got the pin in place, and you can tell that you've got that pin in place because on the left and right side you can see it comes down, and that actually creates the locking mechanism for when the housing goes into place and press and you hear a click, and that secures that housing in place. And then what's left to do is insert the key, on, off, on, off. Beautiful. Okay, so now that we've got the key in place, we can go about our business of putting the panels all back together and start the reassembly. So pretty much what you did before, but in reverse. Okay, the second part is to remove the seat barrel, and that's the one here. So once you've got the seat open, it's pretty much the same as the ignition barrel. You've got to release the pin from the top. The barrel will come out. This the seat lock is a lot easier, so you won't have the difficulty with the pin. So once the old barrel comes out, you need to get that pin back in place because that will also lock the new barrel in place. Once the pin's been inserted and the new lock goes in, you should hear that pleasing clicking sound. Well, it wasn't very loud, but we just barely heard it. And then test the lock. You see it's working there, and it's also releasing the latch at the top. So I'll close the seat down and make sure everything's working. There we go, beautiful. All right, so that is the seat lock. New barrel, working beautifully. All right guys, that's a wrap for this video. We showed you how to change the barrel for the ignition and also for the seat lock. We've all lost the keys at one stage, so that particular video will come in handy for absolutely everyone. We hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, like our videos, and we'll see you next time at Scooter Street.